Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is the last time I'm going to be going live for a while. I'm very excited because I have raised 2/3 of my goal amount in order to help support sustainable fashion in Tbilisi, Georgia. I've explained it in the past couple of videos, but in this amazing country of Georgia, there is a budding fashion scene full of people that are doing earth-friendly, conscious clothing, using natural dyes and fabrics that don't harm the earth, and also doing handmade clothing. And I am going to be going there for a couple months, and while I'm there, I'm going to be donating my services in order to help make lookbooks and do advertisements and get some of these designers into the mainstream media. So I'm very excited for this. I want to thank you guys so much for your support. We've already raised over $400, which in the Georgian currency is kind of like raising $700 or $800, because it's 0.38 for every Georgian lari, if that makes sense. So basically, by the end of this fundraiser, I'll have raised over $600, and that'll pretty much be like $1,000 in their currency, if that makes sense. So I'm pretty excited for it, and I want to thank you guys so much for your support. And anybody who's joining this and kind of curious about how to participate, all you have to do to get a question answered is send $11.11 plus your question to paypal.me/Rainbow Harmony, and then you comment to find out what number in line you are. My assistant will help you. And if for some reason you weren't able to write your question in when you ordered, when it's your turn, I'll just say your name and you can write your question in. So I'm very excited, you guys. If you want to participate, if you sign up now, you'll be one of the first people in line. And I'm looking for Natalie. Is that correct? Natalie is first. Natalie, if you're here, go ahead and comment and let me know and write your question. And I'll just give you a minute or so to write your question down. And if you're not here, then I'm just going to move on to the next person, and hopefully you'll pop in sometime soon. So yeah, go ahead and send your info in, and I would love to do a reading for you. As always, I've got my trusty Wildwood deck. I have my Doreen Virtue Romance Angels deck. I'm using my Universal Angel cards as well, and my Enchanted Tarot, just because some of you guys asked me like what decks I'm using. And then I have my spiritual gift deck that I made myself, if you're interested to know what your spiritual gifts are. And I also have my artistic gift deck. So pretty excited for this, you guys. We're going to get started. Natalie, if you're here, hi Natalie, go ahead and write in your question and we'll start with you first. So yeah, we'll start with Natalie first. So glad that you're here. And hi Mame, you can write your question below too. Mame Grant, you can write your question below because you're going to be going after Natalie. So Natalie and Mame, go ahead and write your questions below and we'll get started. And I'm just clearing my energy with my crystal ball, excited for another session. Some of you guys have asked, like, how do I do this? How do I handle so many readings? I've been practicing and building up to this over the months. I go live all the time, sometimes for free. And yeah, I've been practicing, you know, doing a lot of readings, and I'll probably take a break once or twice in the middle of this session just to make sure I can meditate and get grounded, and crystals definitely help you guys. And can you grab me my frankincense oil? I want to show you guys something that really helps if you're doing a lot of readings, or just for yourself or for other people, or just trying to clear your energy. This is my frankincense oil, and you just take a dab of it like this, and you put it on your third eye, and you can even rub it in between your hands. It's so nice. It smells great and helps to clear your energy. So Natalie, you wanted to know about a love, oh sorry, that's somebody else. That's Mame. So yeah, Natalie, go ahead and write your question because you're first, and I'm just gonna wait for a moment to, oh there you go. So you met somebody recently on a vacation and you feel it's like an emotional karmic relationship. You haven't spoke for a few days, but you're wondering what he's thinking and what the outcome of this connection is. So perfect, we can do that. I'm really excited you met somebody. Let's see what's going on here. So you guys haven't spoke for a few days. So what is this person thinking about you and the connection? So I feel like this person's kind of torn. I feel like they weren't expecting to fall for you like they did. I think that they might be already in a relationship or just out of a relationship or just kind of like spooked by the concept of a relationship. And I'm seeing, yeah, it does seem kind of like a karmic relationship because this might not be a soulmate that you end up connecting with. There's this message that says you deserve love, you are lovable. And so I also see romantic feelings here. Like they're afraid to move forward and like confess feelings to you. Like they don't want to lead you on. So interesting. Let's see what the outcome of the connection is. But actually first I want to go further and ask, like, what are their feelings for you? Do they have feelings for you? And just tap into this a little bit deeper. Okay, so they definitely are attracted to you, and you guys spent some time on this vacation getting to know each other, and like you guys got really close really fast. It was like this instant soul connection, and they were thinking like, wow, like not I see this could be the one. And I feel like I don't think they were thinking like this is my one and only, but I think they were realizing you guys were like a match instantly. So they're definitely attracted to you. They spent some time getting to know you, but now they're ghosting you. And we see this deception card. I get this strong feeling, and also from what I've seen in the cards, that they might be involved with someone else. And it was like shocking because they were not expecting to meet someone they were so attracted to. You kind of came out of the blue. I'm not sure if they revealed to you that they were involved with someone else, but that's what I'm seeing. So now they're kind of confused about the situation. They feel bad because they're letting down their partner. They feel kind of like they cheated. I feel like they're unhappy about the situation. This is talking about like the time you guys had celebrating. They're definitely thinking about it. You're on their mind. And they're considering like, should I take a leap of faith here? Should I pursue this? Should I let it go? So I feel like that might be why you haven't heard from them, because they're kind of on the fence right now about if they're going to continue pursuing you and like leave the past behind, or if they're just going to let it go with you. So let's go ahead and see what the outcome of this relationship is going to be. Are you guys headed to a stronger connection? Are you guys going to continue talking? Are they going to reach out? Let's go ahead and see. Yep, we're getting pay attention to the red flags. I feel like this might have just been a one-time thing. I don't see any continued passion, and it says if you're going to wait for this person, you might be waiting a long time. So I think this was just a soulmate that crossed your path. It was meant to be just kind of a fling and someone fun that you can meet and get to know. But I feel like their situation, like they're tied down to something or someone, and I don't see this moving forward. I'd be surprised if you heard from them again. So I'm so sorry, that's what I'm getting in the cards, but anytime I give somebody an answer like that, I always want to look and see like what is coming in for you in love next. So I'm going to add that as a bonus to this question for you. There's already a message telling you to get back out there and flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others, making eye contact, smiling. Don't let this one get you down. Someone coming in. Yeah, there's a new relationship coming in. There's somebody, you will be in a relationship in 2019, And this is saying the next person who's coming in, you're going to feel an instant connection, an even stronger connection with them. It's going to make you forget about this person altogether, because this next person that's coming in, you guys have known each other before from a past life. And so you're instantly going to feel familiar. The connection's going to take off really fast. And this is the person you'll end up in a relationship with, the next person who's coming in. So I don't see someone with the person you met on vacation, but I do see somebody new coming in. I don't think you'll be single for too long. So they're like, get back out there, be playful, recapture romance by allowing your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And this is saying, allow yourself to have fun. Try not to let this get you down. Be open to flirting and get back out there. So let's go ahead and get you a timeline on when you're likely to meet this love interest, this person you will end up in this relationship with. About 3 months. And I do kind of see like a little sadness and you wondering about this person you just met, because you guys did have a strong connection, but there's an even stronger connection coming in with this next person about 3 months from now, perhaps around March or April. I see a new connection that leads to a relationship. So I hope that resonates with you. Thank you so much for your support and for supporting my cause. And we're going to move on to Ma'am. Also, I'm looking for my, oh, here it is. I found it. I was looking for one of my decks. Okay, so this is for Ma'am Grant. You want to know about a love interest. This person runs hot and cold. So you're just wondering like how they feel about you, if they're going to make a move, like if this is someone you're going to be moving forward with. Maybe why they're acting so hot and cold. So let's go ahead and pull you some cards. So how does this person, actually let's look at the current energy between you guys right now. Current energy for Ma'am Grant. Okay, so I do see some conversations you guys have had. You guys have been honestly discussing your feelings with each other. You've opened up. I feel like they know that you have feelings for them, and they have also confessed like they're feeling it for you too. And there have been times where they have moved forward to pursue you. And there's a message just telling you to open your heart to give and receive love. You might be wondering, is there somebody else? And that's something I do kind of want to pull some cards on. But for all intents and purposes, I do see that you guys are mutually attracted to each other. So there is attraction here. They're attracted to you. You're attracted to them. So let's see what their feelings are for you. How do they feel about you? Okay, so there is here. So it makes a lot of sense you're saying it's hot and cold, because I feel like whenever you pull back from this person, you're not worried about it, you're just doing your thing. That's when they're the most attracted to you, because I think they're the kind of person that likes to chase. They want to pursue you. And so when you're just doing your thing, you're standing in your power, you're not worried about this connection or the timing or if they're into you or not. They're like really feeling it, and they like to have that energetic space to be able to come and pursue you. And so this is saying very soon there could be something working out here. I was worried, is this like an unhealthy connection or something? Is this person toxic? Is that why they're kind of giving you the runaround? And I got the answer no. Like, this is actually somebody who's good for you. And we saw earlier the open your heart to receive love card. Like, this is somebody safe to open your heart to. And then this also says stay optimistic about your love life. So I feel like this just needs a little bit more time, I wouldn't necessarily play hard to get with this person, but I would let them come to you and kind of pace the relationship. Don't be so available to them all the time. If they text, don't text back right away. If they ask you on a date for Friday, tell them, oh, I have plans. Maybe we could do it on Sunday or next Friday or something. I feel like, pace this and take it a little slow with this person and let them earn the right to be in your life. They have to earn your trust. They have to earn your respect. You are the prize. And so that is the message here. I think they are really starting to develop feelings for you, and they feel the chemistry. So next, let's just go ahead and see what the future holds for you guys as a couple. Ooh, I actually do think it's very possible you guys will end up in a relationship. I see the true love card that just shot right out. And then we also see that you guys have this connection, a very strong connection. We pulled this for the last person too, actually. So I'm going to read this card since so many of you guys have been getting it lately. So this is talking about a soulmate connection, and it says, you got this card to explain the relationship that you've inquired about. You have some unfinished business in conjunction with the soulmate from a past lifetime. This may involve forgiving someone, a joint project, or learning personal lessons such as patience. Soulmates recognize each other instantly, and this feeling is often registered as a sense of romantic or sexual chemistry. The magnetism that draws two people together can surpass logic because the purpose of the relationship is healing and learning. Whether or not your soulmate becomes your life partner, you'll still experience personal and spiritual lessons and growth as a result. So the message here is you haven't met this person by accident. They have a purpose in your life. Just keep it playful with this person. Remember to pace the relationship. Let them come to you, and allow them to pursue, because I feel like this can end up in a relationship. It just needs to take its time. Remember, they need to earn your trust and they need to earn your respect. You are the prize. But I see true love here. I see like this can blossom into something more. And I feel like you guys have kind of had a bumpy start, but there's a possibility for this to come together. There's a decision that's going to have to be made eventually if you guys are going to fizzle out, or if you're going to enter into like a committed relationship and like this is all going to come together. It might not happen right now, and the winter cycle, the winter season, the energy that everyone's experiencing right now might be part of this. So just give it a couple months, and don't put all your eggs in one basket with this person, but I feel like this is going to develop over the next couple months. I think just focus on dating with this person. And they're also saying face your fears, because there was a strong message for you to open your heart and try not to push them away. And so, yeah, you guys have been kind of going around in circles and circles. You can't get through this door, which is admitting your true feelings to each other. And you're worried, like, am I going to be single? Am I wasting my time? And I feel like just let go of your fears, and anything can happen here. There is a lot of passion between you guys, and I see the energy, and there's a lot of potential here in this relationship. I don't think you have anything to be afraid of with this person. Don't push them away, but at the same time, you don't want to come across too thirsty. You want to play your cards right. You want to keep it cool. You are the prize. So I hope that resonates with you. I'm seeing things working out pretty good for you and this person. They definitely have feelings for you, and this true love card is really making me think that this could turn into something more, especially when we see this card. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So the key word here being commitment. I think that's what you are wanting to happen here, but I think they just need a little bit more time, and let them pursue you. So I hope that resonates, and thank you so much for participating and supporting my cause. So next is a question for Leslie's sister's friend. So thank you so much, Leslie, for all of your support. And Leslie did get the consent of her sister's friend before purchasing this reading. I always make sure if I'm doing a reading for someone else or someone who's a friend who's hanging out with you, and you're using your account, that we get the consent of that person. So what was the question again, John?
Sister's friend.
The career?
Okay,
so Leslie's sister's friend wants to know if she's on the right path with her career. So let's just go ahead and pull you some cards about your career. Talk about your talents and your gifts a little bit. Almost done pulling your cards. Okay, so for Leslie's sister's friend, I can see why you are a little nervous about this career path, because this card in the middle is the indecision card. It's saying that you are at this point where you really need to see the whole picture before you decide. You've been feeling a little bit of doubt and confusion, and you're not sure if you should like act immediately on this path. This is reminding you that, no one can help make these decisions for you. But what's hilarious is I just opened to the book and it says, an oracle can help you. That would be me. So it's kind of like fate, I guess, that we're talking about this right now. Um, what I am seeing for you is you seem to be really gifted when it comes to using media and technology. And this is a message for you that whatever industry you're going into, make sure that you get a strong social media presence going. I've been talking about this a lot lately to so many of my clients. I think there's some careers like if you're a teacher at a traditional school or something, you might not need social media. You're probably not even allowed to have it. And there's, maybe if you're a doctor or something, you get clients, you're working at the hospital, you don't really need to do that. But, if almost anything else, almost any other career these days, like it's important to have your social media. It's important to let people see who you are and what you're doing, and like put examples of your work out there and get like a portfolio up. I feel like that is what you should be focusing on right now. And it's also saying you might be really good at photography or maybe doing Photoshop. Maybe you'll be designing an app, or there'll be like some kind of website that has to do with what you're working towards. Something that has to do with digital art, maybe even computer graphics or graphic design. Also, robotics, video games is on here, 3D printing, but that's not really standing out on this card. I just feel like new media, using technology, this is going to be something that's extremely important for you. And so I think what's hard is you haven't been really staying grounded lately, because there's been all of these ideas and you're thinking about the big picture and you're just like, how am I going to do this? And what I want you to know is, regardless how you walk toward this path, whether you decide to go to college or not, or get education for it, eventually there's going to be this point where you're out in the real world, or you're out of college, and you're going to have to market yourself. And so there's this message to like really look into social media like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, like any social media platforms that are calling to you, and start developing that. Start posting pictures and videos and a little bit of writing and kind of introducing yourself, and just keep the flow going. Keep posting, make projects for yourself to demonstrate your work and to get a good body of work flowing. You're gonna have to be really patient in this industry. I feel like it's more of an artistic industry, and that's why you're kind of nervous. Like, am I gonna be able to be successful? I think the worry is about money. Like, am I really gonna be able to make money doing this? Is this worth the investment? And the message here is to remind you that money flows where your energy and your passion goes. So choose whatever you're the most energetic and the most passionate about, and that's where the money is going to be for you. Along my earlier journey, I chose this one career and I stayed in it for 13 years because it was safe. I had a steady paycheck, like I had health insurance and stuff like that. And it was a career where I was being a light worker and I was helping, I was healing others, but I wanted to do something so much more. I wanted to do something more creative. Creative. You guys have heard this story a million times. I wanted to be a fashion stylist. I wanted to do tarot. And so there came this point where I had to leave that job and I had to embark on this new path. And it was hard, I had to work part-time jobs. I had to stay grounded. I had to get the education and support myself. But once I finally got into the industry, I got a lot more money than I did working this other job that seemed more secure, that seemed more stable. So ask yourself your intention of why you're going after this career. Is it because people around you have told you that it's going to be good? Is it because you Googled what the top careers are going to be in the next 20 years and you just pick something off the list? Is it because your friends or people in society are doing this? Or is it because this is what you love? This is what your passion is. This is what you're made for. Think back to your childhood and ask yourself, as a child, what types of hobbies and activities and interests did you naturally gravitate towards? What did people always come to you for or compliment you on? Specifically, think back to when you were about 8 or 9 years old, because that's when your higher self really develops and you start to realize the true essence of who you are. You're like the most natural at that age. And so what were you doing around ages 8, 9, 10? Even as a teenager, what do you naturally gravitate towards? I feel like you're feeling a little depressed because you feel like you're just seeing this long road and this long journey, and it's really overwhelming to you. And I think it is going to be a long journey for you, but you don't have to get there right now. As cliche as it sounds, it's not the destination, it's the journey that matters. And for me, it took me 10 years of working for free as a fashion stylist before I got my first paycheck. 10 years of working for free. But you know what's great? I would never take that back. There were so many times I almost gave up because I was like, this is taking forever. Like, am I ever gonna get there? Is it worth it? But it totally was. And I met some of the best friends of my life on my way there. I had so many incredible opportunities. And I feel like what you need to focus on is developing a really strong foundation for yourself and allow yourself to organically flow into this career path. Okay, realizing, you might have to have a side job. You might have to support yourself while you bust into this industry, and that's okay. If you like photography, maybe you can work in a camera shop, or maybe you can assist another photographer, as you're working towards getting clients and your own gigs and stuff like that, as an example. So they're saying keep it simple. Focus on what do you need to do next? What is like the first thing you need to do to go on this path? If that's getting education, focus on that. If you don't have the money for education, get a job, save the money, get the education. After the education, what do you need to do? Develop your portfolio, get your social media going. Even when you're getting education, get the social media going. And you'll start making connections. This says that choose the path that's going to be the most peaceful for you, that is going to give you the ideal lifestyle. If you want to live in the woods and in the country, like what types of jobs are going to support that? Maybe something online or something based off of working on the land or something like that. If you want to be on the beach, figure out a lifestyle that can help you do that. If you want to work from home, that's just kind of examples of thinking about it when the lifestyle is part of it. So they're saying you are going to be a manager, and I feel like you are going to naturally gravitate towards the top in whatever industry and career you're in. So that's why it might be hard for you to like work underneath someone on the way there, but they're reminding you are going to get to the top. This is also saying organize your thoughts, organize your ideas. A vision board might be a good way to get all your ideas in one place so you can break it down into easy and manageable steps. This is telling you that you're a light worker. So you are here to help spread love and light using your unique gifts and talents. So if you're talented with music, or you're talented with spirituality and tarot and astrology, or you're talented with writing, start there. The angels are watching over you. You are going to make it exactly where you're supposed to be. I feel like you're just at the beginning of this journey. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, but there is some kind of opening for you using technology. You might market your own product or your own service over the internet, or you might be like marketing yourself or your business, or becoming like a potential candidate through using websites like LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. So definitely focus there, because that's where we're at right now in the world and the ages that we're in. The social media, don't downplay that. Get a presence and put yourself out there, brand yourself. So there's this card that's coming out. I just saw it in my third eye. It's from my personal deck. I don't usually pull from this deck very often, but I will pull it for you. The message says, it's okay to claim domain over your areas of expertise. It's okay to proudly brand yourself. It's time to set yourself apart from the crowd and let who you are and all that you have to offer become your brand. Let yourself be known, mark your territory. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your beauty, your gifts, your art, and all that you do, for it is unique and very needed at this time on the planet. It's time to show off and put yourself out there. So I hope that resonates with you. Thank you so much for your support, Leslie. I hope that helps your sister's friend out. And in short, yes, she's definitely on the right career path. Just needs to stick to it. So who is next, John? Jasmine. So I know you guys have been communicating with John down in the comments. Anybody who is new to this chat and interested in what we're doing here, I am doing readings for you guys for only $11.11, and I still have a couple spots left. So if you would like to have your question answered in this chat, all you have to do is send 1111 plus your question to paypal.me/rainbowharmony. All you have to do is type this into your browser and a little prompt will come up to have you pay, and you can type your question in. And then if you want to know what number in line you are, like when I'm going to be answering your question, like when you're next, all you have to do is just comment, and John in the comments below will help you out. So, did you get me some water? Okay, so Jasmine is next. What is Jasmine's question? What? Okay, so Jasmine wants to know when she is going to meet her soulmate. So let's go ahead and do a timeline prediction. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of different cards and use my intuition to tap in here. I just got a clairaudient message. It's going to be in about 7 months, but let me just pull some cards to see if I'm getting the right thing here. This is so funny because this is the soulmate card. It's talking about, you know, two soulmates coming together in passion and in nurturing, like the beginning of a new relationship. In order to connect with your soulmate, just as a bonus, they're saying that you have a decision to make. Like, you're at this time in your life where doors are starting to open and the energy is really bright for you, and it might not have been like this, because this card kind of talks about how you just went through this period in your life where you felt like everything was just kind of frozen and you were stuck and everything, and you can get your footing now and you can look ahead to the future to think, you know, what do you want to do? So they're saying start planning your future, start making some goals for yourself. You're in a really good spot right now. You're able to get your strength and kind of rest up. Like, there's some really big advancements and opportunities coming into your life. So I think the next couple months are going to be about you really slaying your goals. And I don't necessarily see somebody coming in right away. So I would not spend your time waiting around for this person. You know, get things going. And I think it's going to be around 7 months from now. And I just want to get a clarifier. Definitely you will be in a relationship and you will be meeting your soulmate in 2019. So we know it's within this next year, 2019. Yeah, there's going to be some time where you're just not moving forward in this direction. There might be somebody that you go on a date with and you just don't feel it. Maybe somebody that you have a crush on ends up with somebody else and you're like, dang it. And then there's like another person that could come in but they're just not your type, and so you're really waiting for that soulmate connection. So have you ever heard that expression, sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince? And here we go, seven of swords. So 7 months from now, and I know that that's hard because you'd probably like it to be sooner than later, but I just feel like these first couple months, the first half of 2019 for you is going to be all about this energy of planning and setting these goals and making things happen. Sooner than you think. There will be passion. Your soulmate will come through for you. And I feel like right now it's just hard because, like, you might not be dating anybody, you might not really be flirting with anyone, and you're just like, what the heck? Why is everything like slowing down? But pay attention to what's moving forward. I feel like that's a strong message for you. Pay attention to what's moving forward, set goals. You're gonna get so distracted by all the opportunities coming in this year. It'll be 6 or 7 months in no time, and then this person's gonna come in at the perfect time in order to connect with you. And there will be 1 or 2 people you might date before, but you're going to realize there's just not enough attraction or chemistry. So I see you dating sooner than 7 months, but I think the real soulmate, the soulmate you're looking for, is going to come along in about 7 months. So they're saying it's worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. These cards are matching up so perfectly with the downloads that I'm getting. You're going to have a lot of chemistry with this person, and this is kind of a message to you not to settle, because you'll have options. I feel like you're very attractive and people naturally are drawn to you, but you want someone that you feel attracted to, that you feel the chemistry with, and like you don't want to settle. So wait for that chemistry. Wait for that chemistry. That is going to be a sign that that is your soulmate and that you're in alignment with the person. The chemistry does not lie. This year in 2019, someone from your past might also be returning to your life. This might have been someone that you dated before or had a connection with before. This could be the soulmate. Perhaps it's somebody that you've already connected with, so just be open to that. And then we got the flirt card reversed, telling you to like not to go looking for this love. Let it find you. And if you think you know who this person is, it might not be time. You might not want to go knocking on that door. Let it come to you. So I hope that resonates with you. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm going to shuffle all the cards back in the deck, take a drink of water, and hear whose question is next. So who's next?
Liberty.
Liberty is next.
They're going back to college.
That's exciting. Wants to know how it's gonna go. Hi Liberty. I know I've done readings for you before. It's exciting to hear from you again.
Thinking about it.
Thank you so much for your support. Okay, about college, and you're wondering if that is going to work out. So let's go ahead and pull cards for 2 different aspects. I'm going to pull some cards for what does the path look like if you go to college and you go back, and then what does the path look like if you don't go and you just try something else. So let's go ahead and pull cards for that. What does the path look like if you go back to college? Oh, wow. I don't even know if I should pull cards for if you don't go, because the first card we pulled is the yes card. This is the sun in the traditional tarot. Everybody knows if you're asking like a yes or no question and you pull the sun is yes. But I'm still gonna pull cards for if you shouldn't go back to college. I think it's cool that we pulled the sun card with the responsibility card. It's like you are just deciding, I'm gonna do this. Kind of sucks. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna get me where I wanna go. So I'm gonna buckle down and do this. So there has been a challenge with the amount of money you've been able to make. And I feel like you're at this point where you're like, I'm capable of so much more. I want to attract more abundance, and like, this is my goal. And so you've received this intuitive message to go back to college. And I actually see this being really positive for you. Like, you're going to be leaving difficult times behind. This is your degree, your diploma. You have to be very, very patient. Many moons go by before this happens. It's sacrificing a lot of there will be a big celebration, and I feel like it's going to help you. It's going to help your family. People are going to be affected by this. And you guys know me. I personally dropped out of college, so did my husband, and it just wasn't my path. And I've counseled other people to drop out, but some people I see it's actually going to be really good for them. Everybody really is on their own path. And in your case, this is the best thing that you can do. just remember whatever you study, make sure it's something you genuinely feel interested in, you're genuinely excited about, something that mirrors your talents and your gifts. Choose a career path, choose a degree that you feel like is exciting to you and fun for you, you're interested in. There's always going to be those boring classes you're going to have to take just to fulfill the requirements, but as far as what your overall degree is going to be in, choose something that you know you like. Don't focus on like what degree is going to get me the most money. Don't go there, because I know that you are trying to manifest this ultimately, but just remember that money flows where your energy and passion goes. In your case, I really feel like college is going to be the best thing for you. They're saying, go back when you feel ready. It might even be this year, 2019, that you're going back to school, and I think it's going to be really fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to do really well in your classes. I think you're going to get back in the swing. You might even be taking it more seriously now that you're going back. And I feel like you're going to handle this differently. There's also a message coming out for you about study groups. Like, don't be afraid to form study groups, to connect with others and learn in a group of other people. I think that's really the aspect of college that's going to help you the most. So they're saying, reach for the stars, go for it. This has been kind of a time of this behind. They're saying now, start looking into applying now as soon as you can. And you will have all the money you need, and also to don't follow your heart. And this is passion. So congrats, Liberty. I'm so excited for you. I'm seeing a huge yes. I feel like if you don't go, it's not going to be bad or anything, but I do see the challenges. Like, you've been kind of waiting for your situation to change and nothing has. And this is your idea and the intuitive guidance that you've received to change your situation. And I think this is a good way you can go about it. The first card we pulled was the yes card. So I'm going to say yes, thumbs up. I hope that you have an amazing time in school. Definitely keep me posted on how it goes. And I'm very excited for you. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going to move on to the next person. Who's next? Who?
Alex.
So Alex is next.
Career and finances. They've been struggling at the job. I've been wondering if they should
Okay.
finances aren't very good. I don't know if there's any advice for that, and also on the side, if it's going to affect them getting Canada. I think it's residency or
Okay.
citizenship or something.
So you're wondering if you should, Alex is wondering if you should look for another job, because finances have been kind of rough. And also if you do, if that's going to affect like you getting your residency in Canada. So let's go ahead and look into if you get a new job and what the path looks like if you don't. So get a new job. If you don't. All right, the cards are really speaking clearly to me. I'm getting this message that you might not want to get a new job until you get your residency in Canada. Because I'm seeing this home card here, and then I'm seeing like these death cards and these struggle cards, and it's saying, yeah, it could actually affect your situation. If you're trying to get residency and then you change your job in the middle of it, it can delay it or set it back. So it seems like you might need to stick with your job for now and just focus on the residency first. Once you get to Canada and everything, or if you're already there, once you get your feet in the ground a little bit more, I think you'll be able to start looking for the new jobs, because eventually it does say yes. You're going to be pulling up your worthiness and respect and realizing I'm worth more than this. I can make more than this. There's got to be another job out there for me. And there's also for you with like mentoring or teaching or something like that. And so I would look into some type of mentorship job or teaching job. I found so many random ways to make money over the past couple years. Like I worked with models for so long and was an agent for a while and created. And so I started offering up modeling classes. And so I also have another client of mine who is in theater, and I've been talking to her about perhaps doing acting classes for the youth, and charging $20 or something a class, and just renting out like a little room somewhere, and having people come and teaching them. So good at music, or if you've learned something or you've mastered something, maybe on the side or maybe on the weekend, one day a week, you can start a class or you can tutor people. This is also talking about checking out online websites where you could be like a nanny, or you could babysit, or you can be some kind of teacher or tutor. There's so many different things you can tutor in. Even if you're good at math, you can help kids with like math in like third grade or something. Like, you'd be surprised. So I feel like at this point you need to kind of think about if you can maybe sacrifice a little bit more of your time to do some kind of teaching or mentoring job on the side. You might have to start it yourself. You might have to do it out of your home. Maybe you would do it under the table or something. I used to travel to people's houses and teach swim lessons. I actually made a lot of money doing that. I made like $400 every family I taught, and that would add up. I'd make like a couple grand a month just from like a couple hours a week teaching swim lessons at people's houses. So there's a lot of ideas. I think you just need to realize, like, what are you good at? Pull up your worthiness, pull up your respect. Don't be afraid to like work under the table a little bit if you need to, or start your own little side business, even if you're selling things online or maybe doing a little bit of photography or something. Just really think about what your gifts and talents are and see if you can just start something small on the side. This tarot business is something small that I started on this side that turned into something huge, ended up turning into my career. This is what I'm doing like full time now. So really start thinking about some ideas. Maybe the lack of finances is because you're not really doing something that is your passion. And I feel like it's actually bad when you get to a place when you're comfortable, because then you're just tempted to kind of float and not really pursue your true goals and your true dreams. So pay attention to what's happening in your situation and really think about the advantage that you have actually having this lack of finances, because it's lighting a fire under your butt, helping you to realize, like, is this my passion? Is this what I really want? And so you are having the space now to be able to figure out what your desires are. So I would focus on that. John, can you drop the link to my how to make a vision board tutorial? And just like keep that like in a note somewhere, because we always end up dropping that link. John's gonna drop a link below for you in the comments for how to make a vision board. I would start there and ask yourself, if you had $1 million and you had visas, unlimited visas to go anywhere, what would you do with your time? Okay, let's assume you buy your dream car, you get your dream house, you travel a bunch. After that, and you're kind of bored, you still have a bunch of money, like, what kind of business would you start? Like, what kind of job would you have? Like, how would you fill your time? That's what you should focus on. That's what you should be taking steps towards in the long run, okay? For right now, there's a message about tutoring, mentoring, coaching. There's plenty of online sites you can sign up for. I signed up for lessons.com and put myself up for modeling tutoring, like modeling classes, and like that shit was on fire. Like, it was crazy. So you might just have to pull up your self-esteem, your confidence, your worthiness, and just 1 day or 2 days a week, evenings, weekends, work a little bit more to get a little bit of extra cash. I do think eventually you should look for another job, but you need to make sure that your residency situation in Canada is solidified, or like you've already moved there. Because I do kind of see that might be affected. If you're already there and you change your job, that should be no problem, as long as you're making more money than you were at the other job, or like the same amount. Obviously the goal is to make more, but right now, brush up your resume. That's what you can do right now. Brush up your resume, make a vision board, check out lessons.com and think like, or the nanny websites or the Manny websites, and start thinking about, maybe just humbling yourself a little bit to get some extra side cash. Also, stop going out to eat. That's a big one. Like, that's the biggest way that my husband and I have always saved money. I used to have, this job that barely paid me anything, and I wasn't working full time. It was awful. And the biggest way I saved money was by not going out to eat. I know it's hard when you're on the run and everybody at the office is like, hey, put in $5. Like, let's order this thing. But that adds up. You know what I mean? So, try not eating out for 2 weeks and see how much money you'll save. It's insane. You can also sell things on eBay if you need to make some quick cash. I remember once, like, I don't know what happened. It was a couple years ago. I just had this bill and I couldn't pay it. I was screwed. And my husband and we put a couple things up on eBay. And just like random shit, like this old VCR and like some other stuff. And like that sold and we were able to make the bill. And so you always have everything you need. And sometimes you got to realize that's enough, you know? You need to start thinking long term about what your passions are, because money flows where your energy and passions go. Don't pick a job just to be safe and just to be comfortable. Comfort is like the worst enemy, because it's just going to make you be complacent. You want to be thriving. You want to always be going to that next level. So in short, the answer to your question is yes, definitely look for another job. I don't see it jeopardizing your situation once you're in Canada and you've been there for a while. You might just have to stick with the job you have for now. On the side, you can do some kind of lessons and tutoring type of job. You might be working a lot, but at least you'll be able to save something, or, to help your transition in between your next new job. So I hope that resonates with you. I feel like there's only so much money you can make if you're not doing your true passion. And that's what the message is here, is you're not in your true passion. So your abundance is going to be not trickling to you as fast as it could. Your energy controls like the money in your life. Like when you're on a high vibe and you're in a high frequency, I call it kind of like Esther and Abraham Hicks call it, like being in the vortex. Like when you're on a high vibe, you're in the vortex. When you're doing what you love, when you enjoy your job, even if it's challenging sometimes, that's going to be where you're going to be having opportunities and making money. So this is time for you to start thinking long term. So, oh, you can't work as a contractor because you're an international student. Yeah, I know what you mean. You might want to try, I think that's why I was getting so many messages about you doing it under the table. I mean, I'm kind of telling you to do something illegal here. Trust yourself. I taught swim lessons and got like just cash, like a whole bunch of cash under the table. And I didn't want to claim it on my taxes either. So I know what you mean. You can't work as a contractor. Also, you could look into little things like pet sitting. If you don't want to babysit, you can also pet sit, and people will pay you cash for that. So that's just for like if you're screwed and you need like extra money for a bill or something. But yeah, honestly, if you just don't spend so much money on food, you're gonna be good. That I'm traveling the world right now. I've only gone out to eat. Oh my God, in 9 months, I've only gone out to eat like 3 or 4 times. I mean, I've gotten pastries and like tried little things on the street, but literally I just have salad and fruits and vegetables, and I have a lot more energy because of that. I'm kind of lying. I eat a lot of pizza too. But try that out. So I hope that resonates with you. Definitely brush up your resume, look into getting another job. All right, who's next? Oscar's back? Hi, Oscar. I'm so glad that you're back. Thank you so much for your support again.
I said, thank you for the update.
Cool.
And, this one's about his bank job.
Okay.
Said lately he's been struggling with performance.
Yes.
He thinks management may kind of have him on thin ice.
Mm.
He's wondering if he's going to lose his job or if there's going to be another opportunity.
Okay.
He should look at.
All right, Oscar. I do see the possibility you could lose your job, but there's a message you just need to get your act together fast. You might be self-sabotaging this job because you really don't want it. You know, if it happens, you just have to know that's meant to be. I do see the grief card here, which might be talking about you losing the job. And honestly, you're bored there. It's really not helping your creativity. It's not something you want to do long term, and you know that. I think if you're going to enjoy your job, then you need to really have a plan for what you're going to be using those funds for and like what you're going to be building with that job. Going back to my life again, my crazy life, but that job I worked for 13 years, I got so sick of it. But the last year and a half, 2 years I was there was like the best. And it was so fun because I figured out what I was gonna start saving for. I figured out, you know what, I'm gonna move to LA and I'm gonna save up a bunch of money and I'm gonna get a loft and I'm gonna like do my fashion styling. And I just like buckled down and started saving like all my money. I started taking on more hours. I started performing more. I got raises. Like it was legit. And so sometimes to get a pick me up, you just need to know what direction you're going in. I think this bank job is good for you and it pays bank. So you just got to make a plan for what you're going to be doing, what you're going to spend this money on, like how it's going to support you. Because after a while, just buying your stuff, clothes and going out and just gets boring, you know? So I feel like you had some time to like take these finances and like treat yourself and save a little bit and kind of get all this together. But I think it's time to really think about your life like as a whole. And I know you're kind of like in your early 20s and that's just probably not something that's on your mind. When I was 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I just wanted to hang out and party, and I just wasn't thinking about the future. I think naturally your energy will gravitate more towards that. But maybe now's the time. This is the vision board card. Check out my tutorial how to make a vision board. I feel like a broken record, but I feel like that's really what you need is like a vision board and like to have a dream. And even if that dream is just like an awesome car that you want to buy, like focus on that. Like I feel like you just need some kind of bigger goal and some kind of bigger dream and something to work for, or else of course you're going to slack off or your performance isn't going to be good and you're going to just kind of be off in the clouds because you don't have anything to work for. So you need to motivate yourself here. I don't think that you'll lose the job if you can find a way to recommit yourself and figure out something to work for. So this needs to happen now. And this has happened to me before. I almost got that one job I had for 13 years. I almost got fired from that job because I just went through this, I don't know, I just got really into hanging out with this group of friends and I was ditching work and calling off a lot. And my managers had like a serious talk with me and I was like forgetting stuff and I was showing up like hungover and like I was 21, you know? So I think that sometimes just kind of lights a fire under your butt to make you work harder. And usually before you get fired, you'll get a warning or you'll get like a write-up, but it's kind of hard for jobs to fire you. You have to seriously mess up multiple times and get multiple write-ups in order to get fired, like legally in the US. So if you do get fired, it's your destiny and you need to really look for creative work. Okay, that's a message is next time around, try to find something that's more creative or use the money to fuel your creativity. So figure out what creative industry you're going to go into. And we've already talked about filmmaking for you. Like maybe you should just like figure out what kind of camera you want to get and start saving up for that. That way when you go into work, like you're excited, you're pumped. You're like, oh my gosh, like today I'm making $100 more towards my goal. And like you feel thankful for the job and you feel grateful for it and you feel like it's doing something for you. You know, or else you're just gonna be bored. You gotta have something to keep you going. That's what kept me going the last 2 years of that job I quit. So also you've been going through a lot. Your heart is, you know, I've done readings for you. Your heart's been kind of broken. Maybe you can just be honest with your managers too and just be like, you know what, you guys, like I went through something, I got my heart broken or whatever, and I feel better now. I'm going to work hard. I really appreciate this job. Sometimes your managers just need to kind of, sometimes if you're just real with them, you don't have to tell them a sob story your whole life. You don't have to overshare, but you could just tell them you went through something personal, and you're going to try to leave it at home. That's something that I think is really sad about today's workforce, is like, we're humans. Like, we're going to get depressed sometimes. Like, we're not always going to be perfect. Like, we're not robots. It's the holidays. Everybody's depressed. Like, come on. Like, why do this to you now? Sorry, I'm like being mama bear here. That was the biggest thing. Like, I always felt really bad because used to be a manager at my old job, and I used to always feel really bad because I would see one employee that was having a hard time for a couple months, and I could tell they were going through something because I'm like psychic and I'm an empath, and the management would come down hard on them. It's like, yeah, you got to do your job. Yeah, you're getting paid for your job, but at the same time, like, you're probably not getting enough days off from work. Probably don't have a lot of vacation. You got to work so many hours and you barely get breaks. And so, of course, there's going to be some times where you're not going to perform 100% perfectly. So, but the reality is, if you're going to play the game, you're going to have a job like that, you've got to find a way to leave life at home and then just keep working at work and just turn into a robot, basically. I do see you feeling better and you empowering yourself enough to be able to get past this. So they're saying whatever happens here, you're going to be fulfilled. I honestly think it could go either way. I think if you decide you want to keep this job, you can, but you need to find something to work for, whether it's like something to save up for, or like you decide you're going to move somewhere, like whatever it is. Find something to work for so you can motivate yourself and like prime yourself before you go to work. I used to say affirmations before I went into work. I would go on Jason Stevenson's channel and I would read his say out loud his I am confident meditations. I'd be like, I am confident. I am an entrepreneur. Like, I would say that kind of stuff before I went into work. So you might just have to pump yourself up and be like, I'm going into work, not for them, but for me. I'm going to empower myself. I'm going to work hard. I'm saving up for this thing. Like, find a reason to work. And if you can't, then I feel like you might end up getting fired, but you'll have a chance to get another job. You never have a problem. It's just, I'm going to be real with you. This bank job is going to pay more than a lot of other jobs out there. If you don't have a college degree. So this might be a good platform from which you can spring out of. You can pivot out of this. It's time for you to really think about what you want to do with your life. You're young and you have so many advantages. It's so much easier to make connections, to make friends who can teach you things. That's kind of the message I'm seeing here. Let's pull some final messages for you. You gotta find a reason to stay. Yeah, allow honesty. Look at this. A message from the other side. Allow honesty. Like, be honest with yourself, You're bored, the job sucks. You have to work hard, you have to be a robot. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna go through that hell, you need to find a reason to motivate yourself to keep doing it, I see that the next job you'll get might not pay as much. So it really has to do with what you're willing to do for this paycheck and how much it's worth it for you, if that makes sense. So I hope that resonates. I don't blame you at all. I felt exactly the same about my job when I was your age. It's gonna get easier. Set goals for yourself. Keeps you going. Don't forget your dreams. If you don't know what your dreams are, spend time figuring it out. Then go from there. All right, so how many people do we have left? Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to take about a 5-minute break just to meditate and clear my energy. I want to make sure everybody that gets a message today gets my full attention. I'm doing a lot of readings, as you guys know right now. So just give me about 5 minutes to stretch a little bit, meditate for a second, clear my energy, and follow me over to part 2 of this video. You'll see another live video pop up in about 5 minutes with part 2. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.